Okay. All right, welcome back. So from this chapter, we are going to looking at under the cloud scenario, what has been changed and how we're going to prioritize the security strategy and also the compliance frameworks, and how we're going to work out best practice in terms of the take it out the solutions. Now, first of all, let's look at the AWS Security Reference Architecture, we call the SFA, SIA. Now, Security Reference Architecture on the Amazon, they have a variety of tools on on the Amazon website. Also, they have the repository on the GitHub. And then they also have a reference architecture, which is including the overall management, from the organization down to the operation unit, down to the network components. Those organization unit can including the organization of the management account, the organization of security account, the organization of infrastructure account, and the organization of the network account, the organization of the different workload account. Now we are going to down to the each component and look at it, what is sort of the solution for each stream. First of all, let's looking at from the high level account perspective, what sort of the right structure. This is a typical structures which is within the enterprise, but sometimes we're also going to have as cross account or multiple account, or maybe shared account, or maybe the multi-tenant account. So it really depends on the organization setup. But for this is an example, we're going to have organization management account, security account. Under the security account, we can also have tools such as IAM and the other security like security hub and system managers. Or we can also have like log and archive account. You're going to also create the infrastructure account for those network and some other stuff, and also you're going to have application the workloads, which is for those application development, testing, and productions, and etc. You're also going to create a shared service account as well. Now, for those accounts, Amazon is very focused on to set up the security controls and service control policies from the top down, which is from organization down to the account, and then down to the each called the workload or operation unit, instead of bottom up. This is different compared with the traditional security boundaries. Let's move on to each different layers and see what sort of the services or the product catalog will be available. On organization and organization operation unit level, we're going to have a CloudTrail, which is doing all the cloud log trails, and through CloudTrail we can send we can receive those logs from the VPC logs, and then those logs can be sent to the event hub, and and based on the event hub functions or state machines, it can send to the alarm to the different receivers, or maybe track or maybe change the status for those instance, and maybe move out some instance from workload, or maybe add up more instance, depends. We also have the firewall manager, which is doing the centralized firewall policy and rule management for the different firewalls, including those security group firewalls or network firewalls, or maybe for the work firewalls. We also can use IAM Advisor, which is IAM Advisor, which is a tool which is help to looking at what sort of the right IAM policy for those different users and groups, and and are also going to provide assessment and due diligence for them. The SCP service control policy, that's critical because they set up the boundaries for different accounts, for the different IAM users, and also it's permit the boundary for their roles. It is quite critical to control the from up level to the low level in terms of chain of the approval or as part of authorities. The RAM process, which is resource access management, the RAM process, which is for the top level to control the resources, which sort of resource are going created under which which region and how they're going to control it, because it's tied up with all the spending and cost element and also monitoring and other element. The single sign-on, federated single sign-on, that's quite critical because it's also work with customer or enterprise hybrid or in the premises. So let's say you're going to have a Microsoft Active Directory service, regardless, or using SAML 2.0 or open authentication, open ID authentication scenarios, you're going to use that. So let's move on to the next one, which is called account security. On account security, which is a level down below the organization, or called the operation unit, organization operation unit. So you're going to use security tools such as SAP, service control policies, CrowdStrike there, do the comparison, log monitorings, config, AWS config managers, system manager, which you do on the centralized system management, patch management, and also there's config management, guard duty, which is really guard duty, which is do threat management and machine learning type of things and threat management. Inspector, which is doing the vulnerability scan for the code. Security hub, which is monitor and monitor all the security, manage the security different services, and also monitor security event. You're also going to have IAM Access Advisor, which is looking at the service last access will not there has been approval that malicious, or also you're going to have CloudWatch events. So we've already looked at the organization security. Also you're going to looking at operation unit security, down to the account security. Now let's move into the last one, which is network security. Network security is pretty much simple. We have different network, let's say firewall manager, network firewall, share, which is for DDoS, WOF, which is for the layer 7 securities, and also inspector for the vulnerability scan, AWS certificate managers, and also you're going to have traffic monitoring for the down to NASA. You're going to have the VPC, which is doing security groups, NICs, peering, gateways, endpoint security policies, floor logs for the monitoring, and also traffic